Good evening. It's Thursday, the 17th of December 2020. Diane Hans bringing you book for the day, Human Crossings, 9 stories about refugees. And tonight I'm going to start reading to you the second story that was written by Doug Dunn, entitled The New Jungle Project. But before that, I'd just like to read you a little bit about Doug. In 2017, I moved to Devon from East London and retired from full-time work as a software trainer, connecting with the community through tennis, bridge, and astronomy. I started treating retirement as my new career, as well as taking up committee work for a local community trust. I started volunteering for the National Trust. For much of 2018, I became a facilitator for a landmark worldwide course called Wisdom Unlimited. Joining the Writers' Empowerment Club in 2017, run by Noha Nazar, led me into several writing projects. Joining a local creative writing class, submitting 2 reports for a published journal for Landmarks Conference for Global Transformation, 2018-2019, and republishing a sci-fi short story, Being on the Moon, through Kindle Direct Publishing. My story, The New Jungle Project, expresses the resilience of refugees and volunteers in Calais, and my stand for people to live wherever they want to, including on the moon. Crossing from India is about my parents' immigration to the United Kingdom and my discovering the gift of mixed race identity. So, The New Jungle Project by Doug Dunn. I wrote this story after watching The Jungle in London at the Young Vic in December 2017. The play depicted life in the refugee camp in Calais called The Jungle by performers who actually lived there as refugees and volunteers. I watched the show with 2 people from my writers group who were writing about refugees. At the end of the show, we spoke with a few of the cast members in the bar. I was very touched by their openness and passion. A few days later, I was visiting my daughter in Sheffield, and en route, I stopped to visit the Museum of the Moon in Leicester. The cast members were still very much in my mind, and I was often thinking about refugees. I wondered where the next performance might be. I thought about their passion and what am I passionate about? The most important passion in my life is astronomy and space travel. It has remained my biggest interest since I was 5 years old. I still vividly remember going to a birthday party of Rory, a friend from school. At Rory's party, his father gave everyone a piece of paper and a pencil and asked us to draw a picture of a pencil. While we were busy drawing, his father said we were going to go on a journey. We would be travelling by rocket up into space on a trip to the moon. We finished our drawings and passed them round. They seemed to look more like space rockets to me than pencils. Then we all got up and went into the garden. It was dark and we were led into a shed shaped like a space rocket. When everyone was inside, the door was closed and we suddenly heard banging and rumbling on the outside of the shed. We seemed to be moving and it felt like the shed was taking off. After a while, it went quiet and the shed door opened. We had landed on the moon. We all got out and had a lot of fun running around. The memory has stayed with me. It was only a few years before the Apollo landings, so people were talking a lot about space travel, how exciting it must be to actually have travelled to the moon. Now, finally, in 2017, people were again talking about space travel. Here I was at a museum with many people talking about the moon. I had the thought that those from the Jungle show would have the perfect pioneering spirit for such travel. They were used to living in harsh conditions and in small closed communities. It'll be wonderful to meet with them again and ask what they thought of the idea. And we can hear what happened tomorrow. So the new Jungle Project, written by Doug Dunn, continues tomorrow.